Hello, good evening. Welcome to Camnet Television News. My name is Jeffrey Siambo to present the news tonight. The top stories in the news: 2 people have been apprehended in Lusaka for producing fake MEALIE meal. Drought-stricken Chirundu residents appeal to government for relief food. ZMMSA suspends 2 senior managers over inefficiency concerns. In international news, deceased Russian opposition leader ALEXEI NAVALNY buried. And in sports news, government pledges continued support to all sports disciplines. These and more stories coming up shortly after this break.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mossy Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 04 9213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Hello again, the news in detail. Some residents of Chirundu district in Kayuni area of Southern Province have called on government to quickly move in and provide relief food as crops have failed due to the drought. One of the affected residents, Mary Siamaka, says her fields have dried due to the drought and she has nothing to eat. And senior headman Hambozia Alaton Kaputula says government needs to move in as soon as possible before the local people die of starvation. The residents were speaking in separate interviews with Camnet News Friday afternoon. Meanwhile, Keepers Foundation Zambia, KZF, has welcomed President Hakainde Hichilema's declaration of the drought as a national disaster, stating that the move will enhance resource mobilization. More in this report.
Some residents of Chirundu district in Southern Province have called on government to quickly dispatch relief food to the area due to the failed farming season. On Thursday, President Hakainde Hichilema declared the drought, which has affected about 84 districts in the country, a disaster, signifying the severity of the situation on the ground. Speaking in separate interviews, one of the affected residents, Mary Siamaka, says she struggles to eat as all seasonal crops have failed.
Eno ejimagana ajiumayume jijirino jatugata hakambo climate change iga party maningi cho tulagulira nchagwamba wamba uti ihurumende tulanganye.
Another affected resident, Alaton Kaputula, who is also senior headman Hambozia, says government should move in now or people will die from starvation.
Bantu batatu hijipe daba senior Hambozia ndalombe chaka party iyi bantu basamu bagamana amagana anzala ino kulomba kwangu kwa kuti bantu mubalanganya akacho bantu bangu patandikwidzipe.
Meanwhile, Keepers Zambia Foundation has welcomed President Hakainde Hichilema's declaration of the drought a disaster.
So that declaration, focusing on that, is a most welcome thing, because at the end of the day now, it will be able to trigger a lot of reaction from partners. I think basically, when you look at it, it's a very serious arrangement. Look at the statistics which the president had put across.
KZF Executive Director Ezra Banda says citizens should adapt to climate change through irrigation, as the scourge is here to stay.
One part, I think, as an institution, we have been very consistent on the issue of going the irrigation way. And we are happy that the president also alluded to that. And I think as a nation, strategically, if, as the head of state has said, who is the chief, who is the chief in command, I mean, he did mention the issue of involving the people in the forces, women in uniform, and women and men in uniform. Like when you talk about correction services and ZNS, I think these, if they are well equipped and given enough land, I think basically they should be able to produce enough for the nation.
For Camnet TV News,
police have apprehended 2 suspects in connection with production of counterfeit MEALIE in Lusaka's Kamala South area. Lusaka Province Police Commissioner Creton Kaza says police, through a tip from a community member, have arrested 2 suspects, including a buyer of the MEALIE, and seized over 650 bags of the commodity. Mr. Kaza says unscrupulous people mix original MEALIE of a known brand with maize bran and resell to unsuspecting customers. More in this report.
What looks like a normal house on the outside is a whole MEALIE production plant inside. Right in Lusaka's Kamala South area, unscrupulous people for the past 2 months have been reproducing a mixed brand of MEALIE in the area. Preliminary facts of the matter are that a group of unknown people at the residence mix original MEALIE of a known brand with grade maize meal and resell to unsuspecting individuals. Speaking at the scene, Lusaka Province Police Commissioner Creton Kaza says the police have arrested 2 suspects found at the scene and seized more than 600 bags of counterfeit MEALIE.
Kamala South produce counterfeit meal. So what they do is that they mix using a meal number, a maize brand meal. This one, they mix this meal, maize meal, with the original or meal. As you can see there, they mix this one with that one to make the counterfeit meal. So far, I picked 2 suspects in this relation. So what has happened is that when they make this counterfeit meal, they sell it to unsuspecting people. Then we have also picked the one who was the buyer of this counterfeit meal. It was actually, the meal was destined for Sinazongo. It was going to Sinazeze.
Mr. Kaza says investigations have intensified and the owner of the said house, an old lady in her 60s, is believed to be on the run.
Since they have intensified, so that's why we have picked 2 and others are on the run.
And who's the owner of this property? Is he among those that have been picked?
The owner of the property is actually, she's also on the run. She's an old lady and she's on the run. Apparently, these people that are producing MEALIE here, counterfeit MEALIE here, they don't even stay here.
The commissioner has since cautioned those in the said business to count their days, as police will soon catch up to them.
First and foremost, I just wanted to thank the members of the public that are always there to help the police. So the caution is that, please, if you are found wanting, committing a crime, because as you can see, sir, we don't know this meal, whether it is actually health for someone to take this meal. We don't know. So those that are found wanting like this, the law will visit them.
Cherish Sibote. For Camnet News, Lusaka.
The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAKEZ, has appealed to government to consider launching a national housing project for teachers in rural areas away from the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. NAKEZ Executive Director Aaron Chansa says the project should be a deliberate measure to keep teachers in rural areas. Dr. Chansa says the majority of rural teachers have been denied decent accommodation, with others not accessing rural or remote hardship allowance. He has urged government and the Teaching Service Commission to ensure that all teachers in rural areas begin to get hardship allowances at 35% of one's basic salary.
Action for quality education in Zambia is deeply saddened at the depressing plight of teachers in rural areas. Our survey shows that the majority of them have been denied decent accommodation. What is shocking is that some of them are even staying in grass-thatched houses. Others are in classrooms. This is an insult to the teaching fraternity and also a direct attack on quality education. We want to plead with the government to launch a serious national housing scheme for teachers in rural areas. This is going to motivate our teachers and stop the vicious cycle of teachers migrating from rural areas to towns. We also want to see teachers in rural areas being promoted. Some of them have been acting for many years. Others are not getting appropriate allowances like rural hardship and remote allowances. We want government to consider giving these allowances at 35% of one's basic pay. Our teachers are very, very important. They deserve better than what they are getting. And if we want quality education in our rural areas, government must seriously consider to move in and motivate our teachers in those hard-to-reach areas. So we are very concerned, and we hope that government will come through for our teachers in rural areas.
The Zambia Medicine and Medical Supplies Agency, ZMMSA, have started supplying and delivering medicines and medical supplies to health facilities. This follows a mop-up exercise which revealed stock imbalances of essential health commodities in public health facilities. Speaking during a press conference, ZMMSA Director General Victor Nyasulu says the arrival of the third batch of health center kits has improved the overall availability of stock in ZMMSA warehouses. Mr. Nyasulu says the stock availability now stands at 64% from 60% of essential medicines and laboratory products at 55% from 40.1%. Meanwhile, the senior manager ICT and the finance manager have been suspended for inflexibilities in financial functions. More in this report.
Zambia Medicine and Medical Supplies Agency, ZMMSA, Saturday 2nd March, held a press briefing to address the imbalances of unavailability of essential medicines and laboratory reagents in hospitals across the country. Speaking at the event, Director General Victor Nyasulu says the overall stock imbalances and shortage of laboratory reagents, which almost paralyzed operations at the University Teaching Hospital and some healthcare providers across the country, has been addressed following the arrival of the third batch of 7,050 health center kits, which have been certified by Zambia Medicine Regulatory Authority ZMMSA. He says supplies and distributions of the essential medicines have commenced in their respective health facilities.
Despite numerous challenges, ZMMSA has since the beginning of this year been working round the clock to turn the tide of stock shortages. Therefore, amidst all the challenges, allow me to share with you some milestones that we have experienced at ZMMSA in a quest to improve availability of medicines and medical supplies, as well as administering this agency more professionally. Ladies and gentlemen, I can proudly state that during the recent cholera epidemic, ZMMSA played a pivotal role in ensuring that we had enough medicines and medical supplies at the cholera treatment centers across the country. That's why we didn't make negative news. Of course, we are grateful to cooperating partners and the citizens, both corporate citizens and individual citizens, who came en masse to donate and help fight the cholera disease.
ZMMSA has since awarded 7 million of 24 local suppliers for deliveries and supplies of medicines and medical supplies. Mr. Nyansulu further says that ZMMSA, through the streamline exercise, has since suspended ICT senior manager and financial manager for rigidities in the financial functions. He disclosed that ZMMSA has established the monitoring and evaluation department, which is at the core of promoting the principle of data quality and visibility.
To improve our ICT infrastructure and systems, we invited Smart Zambia to conduct an extensive audit on the quality and safety of our ICT infrastructure and systems. Emanating from the audit report, we have since suspended our senior manager ICT, and we have also suspended our finance manager in relation with rigidities in terms of dealing with finances here. Take note that all these non-punitive actions or suspensions have been taken so as to enhance and streamline our performance as a team. Remember, we are only as strong as our weakest link. In line with this, ZMMSA has now established a monitoring and evaluation department, which is at the core of promoting the principles of data quality and visibility, evidence-based decision-making, and continuous learning and improvement.
Mr. Nyansulu has since thanked the government for the immense support rendered to ZMMSA through the provision of adequate funding for procurement of health commodities for the nation. Prudence Chibwe for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Luansha Municipal Council has disbursed 5.8 million kwacha for grants and loans under the 2024 Constituency Development Fund CDF in Ron constituency. Council Public Relations Manager Gideon Tole says 2.3 million kwacha of the amount is going to grants, whilst 3.4 million kwacha will be spent on empowerment of women and youth cooperatives. Mr. Tole has since appealed to all recipients to prudently use the funds and bring economic development in the constituency.
I'm glad to announce that as Luansha Municipal Council, we have disbursed 5.8 million to finance the Ron constituency grants and loans facility for the 2024 CDF. The monies which we have disbursed are part of the 30.6 million kwacha Ron constituency 2024 CDF allocation. I wish to make a breakdown, or rather state that the 5.8 million is going to be used to finance the CDF grants, which are going to consume about 2.3 million of the funds, and also the larger chunk of the released funds, that is 3.4 million, will be used or rather spent on the empowerment of women, youth and community cooperatives revolving loan facility. As Luansha Municipal Council, we wish to appeal to the beneficiaries of the loans to see to it that they adhere to the terms and conditions of payments, that is timely payments for the loans, as a way of ensuring that as many deserving.
The Engineering Institution of Zambia, EIZ President Ebo Ngandu, has urged engineering professionals in the country to rise above the challenge and contribute to the country's fight against climate change. Engineer Ngandu says climate change is a challenge whose negative effects are no longer a myth, but visible as witnessed from the drought which has ravaged the larger part of the country. He was speaking during the commemoration of the World Engineering Day under the theme Engineering Solutions for a Sustainable World at the University of Zambia Grade East campus in Lusaka. Details in this report.
Engineers in Zambia have commemorated the World Engineering Day, which falls on 4th of March every year. The day was, however, commemorated on Saturday, 2nd March, under the theme Engineering Solutions for a Sustainable World. The commemoration started off with a march past from EIZ headquarters in Lusaka to the University of Zambia Unza Great East Road campus. In his speech, EIZ President Ngandu urged professionals in the sector to continuously work at contributing to Zambia's development.
Working together with government, engineering professionals can make significant contribution both directly and indirectly to achieve sustainable development. Engineering professionals must work with both government to develop quality, reliable and sustainable railways, harbors, roads, bridges, etc. to support economic development and human well-being.
With the country bearing the harsh realities of climate change, Engineer Ngandu has urged engineers to use their expertise to help the country adapt to the scourge.
The President declared a national emergency. So climate change is not something you should joke about. It's something which is very real. And as engineering professionals, make sure you make your services count. Myself, I'm a civil engineer and I'm a consultant. I think you have heard a lot, me talking about, the flooding, those cholera, and all this. So if you are an engineering professional who is in this place, make sure that you start contributing now.
The commemorations also saw a presentation from Infratel Chief Executive Officer Evans Silavwe, who discussed the telecommunications sector.
Where we've got bad grid. So there's an opportunity of building mini grids, and you have the towercos like ourselves as off-takers. You find maybe we've got within a region about 10 or 15 sites. Then you can say, okay, I'll build a mini grid. You guys assure me to be off-takers, and then you supply power to us.
The World Engineering Day serves as an opportunity to celebrate engineering and its contribution towards sustainable development and innovations. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Federation of Free Trade Unions of Zambia, FFTUZ, has applauded the 3/4 reduction of fuel pump prices by the Energy Regulation Board, ERB. FFTUZ Secretary General Nelson Mwale says the reduction of fuel prices is timely and will have a positive impact on the income of its workers. Mr. Mwale says with a reduction of petroleum products, the union expects a reduction of essential commodities on the market. Meanwhile, Mr. Mwale says the declaration of the current El Nino drought as a disaster is vital, as it will attract sympathy from the international community to help the country. More in this report.
Thursday, 29th February 2024, the Energy Regulation Board announced a 3/4 decrease in the fuel pump prices of diesel and petrol. Petrol is now selling at 31 kwacha 12 ingwe from 34 kwacha 19 ingwe per litre, and diesel at 28 kwacha 78 ingwe from 32 kwacha 15 ingwe respectively. The Federation of Free Trade Unions of Zambia has applauded the 3/4 reduction, saying its workers needed the reduction of petroleum products amidst the high cost of living in the country. Speaking to Camnet News, FFTUZ Secretary General Nelson Mwale says it expects a further reduction of essential goods and services on the market now that the kwacha has gained strength and fuel prices have been reduced.
Of Free Trade Unions of Zambia, we are so delighted that there's a 3/4 reduction on the fuel pump price. In short, we are saying this is timely and long overdue, because at the end of the day, the reduction will impact positively on the income that our workers generally are getting, you realize that whatever increment has to do with fuel or commodities will simply automatically go up. But with the reduction, again, it will have a ripple effect. All commodities are expected to reduce. It may not be a reduction that may impress everybody, but at least it's a step in the right direction and it is a positive trajectory. We are calling upon the new Dawn government to continue working towards a further reduction on the fuel pump price, because we know as worker representatives that this will impact positively to our workers.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mwale has commended His Excellency the President for declaring the drought crisis the country is experiencing as a national disaster. He says the whole country should play a part and collectively help the government in order to find solutions to the current situation.
His Excellency the President, Mr. Hakainde, of a national disaster to do with the continuous drought that the country has experienced is actually timely also, because we will attract sympathy. We can't pretend, we will attract sympathy. The international community will look at us, other necessary stakeholders will look at us as people that need to be attended to, that people of Zambia need to be assisted, because should the situation be left the way it is, I mean, I had the privilege of going in certain places last week of this nation. The situation is indeed a disaster, because all the plants have gotten dry.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
WaterAid Zambia, in partnership with Standard Chartered Bank, working with government, has launched a 3-month project dubbed the Cholera Response Project. WaterAid Country Director Yanko Mataya says the Rapid Cholera Response Project aims to provide technical and material support to government's efforts to ensure equitable and inclusive water and sanitation services. Ms. Mataya says the project does not only aim to contain the current cholera outbreak, but also lay the foundation for long-term improvements in public health. Lusaka Mayor Chilambo Chitangala joined the WaterAid and Standard Chartered Bank at the launch in Lusaka Saturday morning.
No, I mean, no, in future we need to have separate rooms for...
At least a country.
As your mayor for the city of Lusaka, I stand before you today with a heavy heart, yet determined spirit for our communities, as first they have faced a grave challenge in the recent weeks. And this is the cholera outbreak that we had in the city. It started in October 2023, but of course by early January, we had a very bad outbreak where we lost over 700 people countrywide and also had about 25,000 people affected. The cholera outbreak that has affected the health and well-being of our citizens, but I'm also proud to say that we have not crunched in the face of adversity. Instead, we have risen to the occasion with resilience and determination. And just to see this, we have partners like yourselves who have come on board. And it's not only the first time, this is something that we're looking forward as Lusaka City Council. As my director had mentioned earlier on, Lusaka City Council can't manage, we can't manage on our own. But with partners such as yourselves, this will make the city,
We'll take a break. Join us for more interesting stories after the break.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries, within Zambia and beyond. Trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha, from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 04 9213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu says the region is endowed with a lot of water bodies coupled with fertile soils that can produce food for the entire country. Speaking when he toured the over 2 million kwacha Kasonkoshi Dam situated in Chitoshi village in Luengo district, Mr. Mpundu explained that there was need for farmers to mechanize their agricultural activities as opposed to the usage of hands. He has stressed that currently the region is sitting in the 4th place with regards to food production, but that once there is the mechanized system, Northern Province alone can produce food to feed the entire country.
We shall sell some, but let's also keep some for home consumption, because the country is not having too many food or too much food for our citizens. The government, you heard yesterday the president announcing that we are going to mop up every bag everywhere in the country before we can place an order of extra food. That was the statement that he gave yesterday. So for the people of Northern Province, we have enough. And we are preserving these rivers, we are preserving these dams so much that they are also help us to do what we are calling winter maize. In this part of the region, my dear, winter maize can still flourish because we have got the areas like you talk about the Chambesh Plains, you talk about Chilubi, when you talk about Bangwe, you talk about all these other bodies, we have the potential to produce more for both in the rainy season and in winter. We can still be productive as a region. And obviously we need to engage ourselves with the experts from the Ministry of Agriculture to understand what is it that they are talking about when they talk about a winter maize. What is expected of us? What type of soils are we doing? But for your information also, you know that the government and the Minister of Community Development, they are doing what they are calling
In an effort to cushion the shortage of school infrastructure in the country, the World Bank, through the Zambia Enhanced Education Project and the Zambia Early Education Learning in the Ministry of Education, has released over $233 million for the construction of 22 secondary schools and 72 early childhood education centers in Western Province. Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary for Administration, Noriana Muneku, who was represented by Acting Director Planning and Information Richard Banda, said this during the groundbreaking construction ceremony of Asha Day Secondary School in Lumulunga District of Western Province. Details in the following report.
Other than the Constituency Development Fund, government working with cooperating partners in the provision of free education, which has come with demand for infrastructure development in schools, is set to build 120 schools with funds from the World Bank. A groundbreaking ceremony of the construction of 22 schools in Western Province, out of which 4 will be boarding schools, has taken place in the Usha area of Limulunga District in Western Province. Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary for Administration Norian Muneku, in her speech read by Acting Director Planning and Information Richard Banda, reviewed the development.
We may all know that in the Western Province, the Ministry of Education is building 22 secondary schools under ZIP and 72 ECE facilities under ZIP project. The 22 secondary schools are part of the 120 schools that the government is constructing countrywide to increase access to secondary education. The 2 projects, the ZIP and ZIL, were designed and are being implemented with a view to attaining government's vision of quality, long-life education for all, which is accessible, inclusive and relevant to the individual, national and global needs and value systems.
Western Province Minister Kapelwambangweta says this project is the largest investment the province is receiving in the area of education.
The construction of the 22 secondary schools and the 8 preschools across the province is a positive step by the New Dawn government towards the realization of the UPND Party Manifesto and the 8th National Development Plan, which focuses on achieving universal access to quality education for all. From the provincial point of view, in terms of development, this ZIP and the ZIL project is the largest ever investment in educational infrastructure development in Western Province that is coming at once in the history of this province and this country.
This project has elected both the Provincial Education Office and the Barroso Royal Establishment.
We are standing here to symbolize the building of Osha's Day Secondary School, and with the provision of the access, the teaching and learning material, the pedagogy and other provisions for offering quality, I think we are getting there now.
It is also said that education breaks the chain of poverty, meaning that you are addressing the issue of poverty here in this region.
So far, an allocation of over 94 million kwacha has been secured for the first phase. Western Province currently has a total of 150 secondary schools, which are overwhelmed with high enrollment. For Camnet News, I'm Enoch Kaneta, Limulunga District, Western Province.
Central Province Minister Princess Kasune has described late Chitambo District Commissioner Evans Chola as a fighter for justice and fairness who stood for the truth despite facing opposition. Ms. Kasune says the late Chola also fought for human rights and advocated for the weak who could not speak for themselves. Speaking at a church funeral service before the burial of Mr. Chola in Serenja District, Ms. Kasune said the deceased also fought for the growth of the ruling UPND in Serenja and Chitambo districts where he served in various capacities. UPND National Chairman Collins Maoma said Mr. Chola stood firm for the party prior to the 2021 general election. And Provincial Permanent Secretary Miona Mwanakampwe urged the deceased family to draw strength from the Bible.
A solemn meet characterizing auditorium at Malcolm Moffatt College of Education in Serenja District as 10 district commissioners from Central Province walked in while carrying the body of one of their own. This was at the church service held in honor of late Chitambo District Commissioner Evans Chola, who died last Tuesday in a road traffic accident.
He has served as a councillor, as a council chairperson for both Serenja and Chitambo districts. He was the first council chairperson for Chitambo districts from 2011 to 2016. From 2020,
UPND National Chairperson Collins Maoma said Mr. Chola stood firm for the party prior to the 2021 general elections.
Even then, with the intimidation, the fight, the trouble they brought to his family and members of the UPND, he stood firm.
In their tribute, the late Mr. Chola's wife and children said Mr. Chola was a unifier who provided counsel and ensured that his children lead a better life.
Thank you because you also greatly helped my love for Christ to grow.
No words can ever come close to signifying who you were to us.
Mr. Chola has since been put to rest at Ikatazara Cemetery. The late Chola was born in 1960. He is survived by a wife, Lillian, 7 children, and 2 grandchildren. Hlupekile Nkonika for Zanis in Serenja.
We'll take our second and final break. Join us. We'll be back with international and sports news.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. Under a heavy police presence, thousands of people bade farewell on Friday to Alexei Navalny at his funeral in Moscow after his death 2 weeks ago in the Arctic penal colony. As his coffin was removed from the hearse and taken inside the church, the crowd waiting outside broke into respectful applause and then chanted "Navalny, Navalny." After the short funeral, thousands marched from the church of the icon of the Mother of God, Soothe My Sorrows, to the nearby Boriskovye cemetery, where police were also out in force for the burial. For this and other international news, we monitored African news.
Under a heavy police presence, thousands of people bade farewell Friday to Alexei Navalny at his funeral in Moscow after his death 2 weeks ago in an Arctic penal colony. Navalny was buried at a cemetery in the snowy southeastern outskirts of the capital after a short Russian Orthodox ceremony, with crowds waiting outside the church and then streaming to the grave with flowers and anti-government chants. Although riot police set up barricades at both the church and cemetery, no detentions were reported. After the short funeral, thousands marched from the church of the icon of the Mother of God, Soothe My Sorrows, to the nearby Borisovsky cemetery, where police were also out in force for the burial. Russian authorities still haven't announced the cause of death for Navalny, who was 47. Navalny had been jailed since January 2021 when he returned to Moscow to face sudden arrest after recuperating in Germany from nerve agent poisoning he blamed on the Kremlin. He died in prison in February.
These Africa's magnificent birds of prey can be found soaring above the continent's varied habitats and terrains. From the large and majestic martial eagle to the colorful batelot and the long-legged secretary bird, scientists are now raising the alarm, saying they are quickly disappearing from African skies.
Not only are birds of prey declining outside of protected areas, which is a bit expected, but we also found really quite a large number of, particularly the large birds of prey, like eagles and vultures, have declined inside of protected areas as well. So when you look at what's happening across Africa, we're seeing that, you know, some of our protected areas are not actually protecting our species. Either they're not big enough or they're mismanaged to a way that, you know, the prey populations that are needed to support these raptors no longer exist.
The study published earlier this year in the journal Nature, Ecology and Evolution noted that these diminishing large birds of prey face a dual challenge: their heightened dependence on protected zones coupled with increasing restricted habitats.
Things like this take about 5 to 7 years to get sexually mature and only have one egg every 2 years, meaning that if you persecute them, they simply can't bounce back. So that is why birds of prey are much more vulnerable than the larger carnivores in many ways.
Also, despite expectations that protected areas will ensure the safety of these birds, the study found otherwise. Human activities have also affected their existence.
Birds of prey prefer high points that will facilitate them to spot their prey items very easily. And these high points include pylons and distribution power lines. So when they settle or they stand on those pylons and distribution power lines, they are exposed to electrocution.
The human impact on raptors is evident through poisoning, collisions with energy infrastructure, bird killings due to traditional beliefs, shooting and trapping.
And the other one was actually...
Yaounde's military court on Friday closed their judicial investigation into the murder of journalist and former director Radio Amplitude FM Martin Ezogo, who died just over a year ago. The trial will now open in the coming weeks, according to the Counter-Espionage Service. 20 or so accused have also been referred to the court on various charges. Two other Lieutenant Colonel Justin Danwe, former Director of Operation, and Martin Stefan Savom, who is the acting mayor of Bibey Commune, will be prosecuted for complicity in the murder. Businessman Jean-Pierre Amugu Belinga and Leopold Maxime Eko, former head of DGRE, the two best-known defendants in the case, will be prosecuted for complicity in torture, according to their lawyers. The date of the trial at the military tribunal has not yet been set, but Charles Chungang, the head of Jean-Pierre Amungu Belinga's lawyers, believe it should start fairly soon.
And now in sports news, the government says it will not relent in supporting athletes to meet their ambitions of becoming world-class stars in their sports codes. Speaking at the meet and greet cocktail for all stars participating in the All-African Games, Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts Elvis Nkandu said the government looks forward to athletes minting medals in their various sports fields that will bring honor and pride to Zambia. Nkandu said government through his ministry will continue to support all sports disciplines for them to realize their potential and contribute to the social and economic development of the country. He says the Ministry of Sports will work closely with all sports federations in the development of sports so that Zambia can be recognized as a sports powerhouse in the region. Speaking on behalf of the athletes, 400-meter sprinter Kennedy Kayembe thanked government for giving equal support to all sports disciplines to thrive. Mr. Kayembe states that the athletes will strive to work hard and bring glory to the country through winning medals. Zambia will participate in table tennis, boxing, basketball, chess, badminton, swimming and cycling, among other sports. To end Camnet television main news, the top stories once again. 2 people have been apprehended in Lusaka for producing fake mealie meal. Drought-stricken Chirundu residents appeal to government for relief food. ZMMSA suspends 2 senior managers over inefficiency concerns. In international news, deceased Russian opposition leader ALEXEI NAVALNY buried. And in sports news, government pledges continued support to all sports disciplines. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 8. Above all, constantly echo God's intense love for one another, for love will be a canopy over a multitude of sins. My name is Jeffrey Zambo. Thank you for watching Camnet Television Main News. Good night.